Hey everybody, how you doing? Michael Fleischner here, sharing freelancer secrets you need to know. Now, a lot of people jump into freelancing without having any freelancing experience. And when you're just starting out, there are a few things that I want you to know about that most freelancers don't even talk about, yet they're the most important things that you should know even before you start. The first is that freelancing is actually easier than you think it is. And I say that because as someone who thought about freelancing, wanted to freelance, contemplating whether or not freelancing was for me, what I found out was the only reason that it was difficult or seemingly difficult in the beginning is because I hadn't done it before. It was all new to me. Yet there are freelancers out there, myself included, who have gone through really the learning curve that you need to go through as a freelancer. And what I found out when I got to the end of that learning curve is that it really wasn't all that complicated. And having a guide, having someone show you what to do first, second, third, and so on is really helpful. So definitely look for that guidance. And even though it may seem really difficult and challenging, it isn't. It's kind of like riding a bike. When you get on that bike for the first time, you don't have balance. It's really awkward. You're doubting whether or not you can ever do it. Yet think about where you are today. If you haven't been on a bike in quite some time, you could probably get right on and start riding. And freelancing is much the same way. There's definitely a learning curve in the beginning. But if you know what to expect and you research it and read it and work on it, you'll find that it's a lot easier than you currently think it is. So that's the first secret I want you to know as a freelancer. The second secret is that to run a successful freelance business takes about 3 years. And I say 3 years because this is a tip or a trick or a strategy that a mentor gave me a long time ago. And it really changed the way that I pursued my freelance career. Remember, I was working full time. I'm not one of these guys who, woke up one day and said, I'm going to be a freelancer. I quit my job and I'm making $1 million because it doesn't work that way. And if it did, then you would see a lot more people doing that. And look, there are some people who have, very quick success. I'll give them that. But is it sustainable? And if you're going to build a freelance business that's going to sustain you over the long term, it's going to take 3 solid years. Why 3 years? Well, because you have to create, first of all, you have to create a business. You have to acquire clients. You have to build relationships. You have to deliver services. And you need to create a process oriented type of business or solution in order for it to become more efficient and more effective. So freelancing does take a little bit of time. So give yourself that time. And the last secret that I want to tell you, which I kind of hinted to a minute ago, is that you don't have to give it all up to start freelancing. In fact, you can add on to what you're already doing. Whether you're already freelancing part-time and you want to do it more, whether you're working full-time and you say, wow, I would really love to break free, but I only have 2 hours a week that I can spare. Or, maybe you're in a hybrid situation where, you're jumping between part-time jobs or full-time jobs and you say, you know what, I really want something that's my own. And, I want to be able to do that. And what I'm saying to you is this last secret is that freelancing can start full-time. It doesn't have to be your full-time job. It doesn't even have to take up a lot of time during your week. Freelancing is something you can use to supplement your income. And, as we started out the whole video, there are people out there who are going to say, oh, you got to quit your job and you got to, focus full time or you'll never be successful. And that's just a load of garbage. It's not true. It's false. It's 1,000% false. And I'm a great example of that. I was working a corporate job, 8 to 6 every day, even on weekends. I had to work on occasion and it was a grind. Yet I started my business with a single client. And over time, as that grew, I figured out how to accommodate more clients. And ultimately, because I loved it so much, I said, you know what? If I can make as much as a part-time freelancer as I do in my full-time job, that's when I'll leave. And that's what I did. Ultimately, I was able to make the same salary. In fact, better salary as a freelancer. And then, and only then, did I quit my full-time job. So you can start part-time. All right. So those are a few freelance secrets that you guys should be thinking about, which is, it is easier than you think. It takes 3 years and you can do this part-time. All right. So keep those things in mind. And I'm Michael Fleischner. If you liked this video, please give a thumbs up, comment below. I want to hear from you. Definitely subscribe to the channel and, we'll see you next time.